What's good? What's good? I um I am not wanting to project this onto other people, but I do want to be honest with other people because I sense they might be feeling something similar, and I sense this is potentially a path to a not good place. So I'm just going to put it out there. I wanted to start the video taking a moment of silence for Laken, or for sending condolences to her family, or for something. But it felt, or it would have felt as I was trying to do it, performative. Like I was doing it for the sake of doing it. It didn't feel sincere. Not because I don't feel tremendous emotions around it, and because I don't believe that this is a tragedy, but because I'm kind of numb at this point. I feel so overburdened, overwhelmed, inundated with emotional and spiritual manipulation that I just feel numb. And I know that this is a temporary thing. I know I'm going to crawl out of it. But often when I experience a deep sort of emotion or feeling or sensation, I like to explore it and then extrapolate it. There's an expression: you can only meet someone as far as they have met themselves. Just really think on that for a little bit. And so when I experience these things, I explore them, I analyze them, and I have found the more that I do that, the more I'm able to connect with people on a personal level. I can meet people where they are at because I've met myself at some deep, dark places. And that's why I said earlier at the intro of the video that I am afraid that this could be a path to somewhere bad. I know I'm going to be okay. I do know that. But when I extrapolate that sensation out to the broader population who is still really battling with the propaganda and the manipulation, this is exactly what the social engineers want. This is exactly what they want. They want a population that is emotionally worked up, that is ready for violence. And what creates the stage for that ready for violence is a numbing of our compassion for others, which is where the conservatives are kind of at right now. I historically, this channel shit on the left, and I'm not even gonna shit on the right so much as try to acknowledge a potential direction they're being manipulated in. The social engineers want you angry, and they want you ready for violence. They want this internal civil strife. And of course, as I've said in my previous videos, I do believe that the Great Replacement is not a theory. It is actually a strategy. And we're witnessing that in real time. And it's not about race. Here's where we need to level up the conversation to provide more nuance. The Great Replacement is not about race. It's more about class. These immigrants that they are flooding our nation with are most often not successful men in their own country, which is why they are allowing themselves to be trafficked. Because any opportunity to potentially find a better path for life is better than the circumstances they are currently dealing with. So the people that are coming here are not often the successful people. That's just by nature of the manipulation and the strategy. So people who just want a better life. What the ruling class want are a class of consistently subservient workers. And the American populace, for a very brief period in time, had such a good life that they no longer want to be servants to the elites, to the oligarchs, in addition to the fact that many of them are waking up. And so what do the elites and ruling class need? They need a replacement class of workers and of servants and of slaves. And so by flooding America with these new worker class slaves, they are successfully accomplishing multiple objectives. One being they're getting their worker class replaced, and two being they are generating the internal strife, the internal chaos, the Civil War-esque energy to bring about the justification for doing something like martial law or increased governmental control, for a crackdown of the government, for a further totalitarian state efforts. And so while the conservatives, yes, are right that we have a problem, the solution is not bigger government, which is what they are pushing for, unfortunately. So I agree that there is a problem. I agree we are experiencing tragedies like Laken Riley's brutal death. That's not an exaggeration. That is not hyperbole. The circumstances were quite brutal. And I need to fact check this. You could fact check this for me. I think it was the New York Post ran an article with a title, something along the lines of the Laken Riley attacker may have panicked when she fought back, or something like that. So essentially victim blaming, trying to soften the narrative, which I thought was just pretty disgusting. But it is the left, and they do have their intersectional Olympics, and right now immigrants are more important than women in terms of the narrative. And you could just look at the whole trans thing to further add evidence that the left, the intersectionals, really don't care about women anymore, which is ironic because you could say radical feminists were sort of the foremothers of the current iteration of stupid wokeism. But I think a lot of radical feminists are waking up too, but that's a whole other thing. I'm getting not off subject, but a little off subject. Let's wrap up the video. This is exactly what the social engineers want. They've been succeeding, but more and more people are waking up. And if we can find our common ground in the middle and stop having the left and the right fight each other and understand that it's not a race thing, it is a class thing. We are experiencing a class war, more realistically a spiritual war, but if you don't want to go to the spiritual level, we can at least compromise and agree that there is a class war being waged on the world. It is a global plan, which is why I say the word globalists, which is not a dog whistle. It's not an anti-Semitic term. I'm going to end the video there. Thank you very much for listening. Much love. And I feel a little more human. I feel a little less numb. Shit. So now I'm like getting emotions. I'm sorry to your family, Laken. I'm sorry to the families of many who have been hit by this problem that doesn't need to be hit. Don't let the anger consume you. Don't let them continue to divide us. Let's try to find a way to unite, because that's how we truly solve this problem. All right, for real now. Bye.